My name is Anna. I married John because I thought he loved me. At first, we lived happy. We cooked, laughed, and dreamed together. But after some months, John changed. He came home late, shouted at me, and stopped caring. One rainy night, he took me in his car. I thought maybe he wanted to take me out for dinner. But instead, he stopped in the middle of the road, threw my bag on the ground, and told me to get out. Rain fell hard. My clothes got wet. My heart broke. He drove away, leaving me alone in the dark street. I cried and shouted for help, but no one came. People walked by, cars rushed past, but nobody stopped for me. I sat under a street light, shivering. My bag had only a photo of my parents, some coins, and one old dress. I had no place to go, no food, and no family in the city. That night I slept on a bench, hugging my bag. For 2 days I wandered the streets. I begged for bread, but most people ignored me. My shoes broke. My hair became messy, and my body felt weak. Still, I prayed, God, please give me a chance to rise again. On the 3rd day, I fainted near a bakery. The owner, Mrs. Grace, saw me and gave me water and bread. She asked kindly, "Child, what happened to you?" With tears, I told her my story. She touched my shoulder and said, "Do not cry. You can work here. Wash dishes, clean tables. I will give you food." My heart filled with hope. From the next morning, I worked in her shop. I swept floors, carried trays, and smiled at customers. Life was still hard, but at least I was safe and I was no longer hungry. One day, an old man entered the bakery. His name was Mr. Smith. He liked how I served tea with a smile, even though I was poor. He said, "You have strong eyes, girl. You should study, not just work." I told him I had no money. He laughed kindly. "I will help you, but you must promise to work hard." I promised him with all my heart. From that day, he paid for my evening classes. I worked in the bakery during the day and studied at night. It was not easy, but I held on to hope. I studied accounting and business. At first, I felt shy because my dress was old and others wore rich clothes, but I kept reading late at night, drinking tea to stay awake. Mrs. Grace encouraged me, and Mr. Smith always asked about my marks. Slowly, my grades improved. I started to believe I was not weak. I was learning something that could change my life. The same girl who was thrown out on the street now dreamed of becoming a strong woman. After 2 years, I completed my course. Mr. Smith introduced me to his friend who owned many shops. They needed an honest worker for accounts. I joined and soon found mistakes in money records. The boss was impressed. He gave me more work and trusted me. Slowly, I was handling big deals. People who once ignored me now respected me. I could see the new Anna growing, an Anna who was no longer broken but rising every day. One afternoon, while checking documents, I froze. The name written was John, my ex-husband. He was trying to buy a shop using fake papers. I told my boss. The deal was canceled. John lost a lot of money. That night, I sat by the window and thought, life is fair. The man who threw me away is now falling. Months later, Mr. Smith passed away. His loss broke my heart, but when his will was read, I cried again, this time with surprise. He had left part of his property to me, calling me the daughter I never had. With that money, I opened my own small shop. I treated customers with respect, and they loved me. Soon my shop grew. I opened more branches. People began calling me Madame Anna. The same girl who once begged for bread now signed checks and gave jobs. One evening, I was invited to a hotel party. When I entered, I saw John. He looked weak, tired, and poor. His new wife had left him. His business had failed. He walked to me slowly and whispered, "Anna, is it really you?" I smiled. "Yes, John, it's me." He looked at the golden ring on my hand and the respect people gave me. His eyes filled with shame. John begged, "Anna, please help me. Give me some work. I am lost." I stared into his eyes and said calmly, "Do you remember the rainy night when you left me on the street?" His face turned pale. He stammered, I made a mistake, but I answered, "No, John, that night was not my end, it was my beginning." The hall went silent. All eyes were on us. For the first time, John had no power, and I had all the strength. Later, my lawyer told me John's house was about to be taken by the bank. He had no money to pay his loan. The lawyer asked me, "Madam, do you want to buy this house?" My heart beat fast. It was the same house where I once cooked, dreamed, and was thrown away. I took a deep breath and said, "Yes, buy it." On the day the papers were signed, John stood outside his house, broken. I walked past him with the keys in my hand. He tried to stop me, but the guard said, "She is the new owner now." His eyes filled with tears. I looked at him one last time and said, "Goodbye, John." Then I walked inside the house with my head high. Inside the house, I touched the walls. Memories came back, some sweet, some bitter. But this time, I was not weak. I was strong. I opened the windows and let sunlight fill the rooms. For the first time, this house truly felt mine. The pain of the past was gone. The girl who once cried here was now the woman who ruled here. News spread quickly. People whispered, "Anna, the woman who was left on the street, now owns her husband's house." Some admired me, others envied me, but everyone respected me. I did not keep the whole house to myself. I gave part of it to poor women who needed a place to stay. Their smiles and blessings filled my heart with peace. Now, when I walk through the city, people smile and greet me. They don't see a broken girl anymore. They see a strong woman who rose from the dust. And John? He still walks on the same streets where he once left me. But when he sees me, he lowers his eyes, because the woman he threw away came back stronger, owning the very house he once threw her out of.